we have two main options: fight or flight. The fighters are celebrated when they succeed, but no matter what the cost, they are the ones who are interrogated, berated, criticized, put under a microscopic lens, depending on what their experience was, if something was even just a little bit off. The fighters have to prove why they're in pain. They have to prove why they deserve justice, and even then, they rarely get the chance to receive it. On the other hand, you have the fleers, the ones who, whether by instinct or by choice, run away. Their stories remain unheard, unsung, and they have to continue to move on like nothing happened. And when they can't, they're the ones who have to pay the price. When it comes to cases of sexual violence, in order for them to face a court of law, the case must fit into a pre-established criteria, right? That makes sense. So you have to figure out what exactly happened, when, where, how, why, who did what to whom. Was it a lover, a stranger? Was anyone intoxicated? Was it in public? But does any of this even matter if there isn't definitive proof, physical evidence? If you were groped on the subway, maybe it was crowded, maybe it was an accident. If it was your partner that did that to you, well, maybe they just loved you that much. You're being dramatic, you're overthinking, you, because at the end of the day, there can't be a perfect crime without a perfect victim. And it's this idea of a perfect victim, a victim who is broken and fragile versus the survivor who can stand up against their oppressors. It's this dichotomy, this comparison, this societal expectation that forces victims into silence and submission. An acceptance that paints the blame on themselves. And it's because of this taboo-ness of these subjects that lead victims to allow the cycle of violence to continue. Because if you're not the perfect victim, then I guess it didn't happen. So today I present to you my song, The Robbery. I'm playing an acoustic version for you, but in its creation with fellow music department students, it is an alternative rock ballad that is very near and dear to me. It's very raw and sincere and angry, and that's because I wrote it based on my personal experience as an imperfect victim of a crime that only my memory can prove happened. And while I recognize that one song would never be able to encapsulate every victim's experience, every sexual violence event in the world, I created this song and I'm sharing it with you today because I hope that with this song I am able to at least give you a fraction of understanding for those of you who may not be able to empathize with our experience. So in that first verse that I performed for you, and I will be sharing the rest of the song with you today as well, in that first verse I sort of use colonization as a comparison point, because at the end of the day, sexual violence, it's not just a physical violation, it's a personal robbery of identity, of pride, of belief that I'm safe. In the second verse, I use these two idioms, the idioms for consensual sexual intercourse, such as the devil's tango or the forbidden fruit, but in this case, I've spun it in a way that highlights the coerced consent. I hope that if there's one thing you can take away from me today, it's that at the center of all of these discussions that we're having today about sexual violence, about making sure that our community is safer, I just hope to remind you all to place empathy and compassion at the center of our discussions. At the end of the day, it's that love and hope that we can provide one another that'll help create an environment where violence, much less the temptation of it, can no longer foster. Because there is no perfect victim, because there is no perfect sexual violence.